The final score, Wrexham 1, Charlton Athletic 0. And before we go any further, quick apology. This podcast and the upcoming one on the women's game on Sunday are going out later than intended because I hit a couple of, shall we say, technical problems. The first technical problem, both of them happened on Sunday at the women's game. The first technical problem was this, because no cover in the rain meant, shall we say, my notes were slightly compromised. So I've had to go through all the games again, both games, to actually make my notes once more. Also, my laptop is currently in the hands of some very nice Wrexham fans at Geek Cabin in town. They're trying to rescue it because it got so wet it died. It doesn't look that good for it. So, yeah, I've had a few technical issues, but here we go anyway. Better late than never. Seeing as, we win these two games 10-0 on aggregate. It was a good weekend. We might as well make sure that they're recorded properly, shouldn't we? So firstly, Wrexham 1, Charlton Athletic 0, 3 home league wins in a row. Oh, all that stuff about struggling at home suddenly doesn't feel like a thing, does it? I don't think it ever was, in all honesty. I always felt the performances were there. This is a very satisfying result because Charlton have taken well to life in the Championship. They recruited well in the summer and they are a streetwise team who've been getting consistently good results. They were in the playoff places before we met them, but as it is, it's another clean sheet, 2 in a week. And although the way we got the goal was a bit daft, nice to see a game where something's fallen our way after quite a few this season where you feel we probably should have scored more than we actually got. Charlton matched us up and played with a very similar shape and had a hell of a chance in the first minute. After Okonkwo coming to the rescue, Nathan Broadhead misplacing a pass back into his own half, and Tanto Alafega driving forwards, fed it to Sonny Carey. He cut inside from the left, ripped a good shot with his right foot across Okonkwo, and he got down really well, strong hands to push it around the post for a corner. But we then settled into the game. Dobson and Sheaf looking very energetic in midfield and really getting a lot of challenges in, and we were pushing forwards more and more. Kabore from the very start looked dangerous. Charlton had Tyrese Campbell on the left hand side covering him, and to be fair, probably the first player I've seen this season who has actually matched Kabore quite often for pace, but he wasn't stopping Kabore getting delivery into the box, and we were looking threatening. In the 8th minute, first yellow card of the game, when the youngster Fuller chopped Kabore down as he went tearing down the right-hand side, an early sign that Charlton were aware of just how dangerous he was. It wasn't a pretty challenge, and Kabore went absolutely flying. To be fair to Fuller, I think a yellow card and a stern word's probably the correct sanction, rather than anything more, although he really didn't try to go for the ball at all. He just dived in at the man. And when you see the replays, you sort of think, VAR might have been interested in the way he sort of went down onto Kabore's ankle. But please let me be clear, that's why VAR is not always a great thing, because I think it is a yellow card, not a red. Anyway, Wrexham were putting pressure on again. Really good spell of possession ends with Kabore sweeping and across. Moore laser off nicely for Cleworth, driving into the box on the right hand side, and he smashes a good shot in towards the top right corner. But another high quality keeper we were up against in Kaminski, and he makes an excellent tip over to send it over for the corner. The corner's played short to Dobson, and he rattles the ball into the goal mouth. I think it's a mishit shot. It goes wide of the left post. Hyam manages to lose his man, lunges in and makes contact with his head, but it's quite a tight angle and he can't divert it on target. Charlton, though, have also got their threat coming forwards too, and a half which I'd say Wrexham had the better of, but Charlton certainly had plenty of as well. Campbell with a good surge, beating Dobson down the left-hand side, and he pulled the ball back nicely for Carey. Big chance this for Charlton. He hits it first time. Again, great work by Okonkwo, who, as he's coming across the goal, shot comes in, he manages to block it well with his legs. At the other end then, it's Wrexham of Hyam passing through the lines to find Sheaf, who scoops the ball cutely to the edge of the area. Slightly awkward for Moore to take. He takes it on his chest, brings it down. he can't really see any support, so he drives into the penalty area. There's 3 defenders around him. He's never feeling fully in control of the ball, but having said that, he keeps going. Mishits his shot from about 15 yards, but the keeper's unsighted. It dribbles wide of the post. There's one of those funny ones where the keeper's unsighted, and if he was wrong-footed by it, probably wouldn't have got across and the ball would have trickled into the net. But good persistent work by Moore. Before Charlton then coming back, Olafe with a nice turn. Hyam lunging in to block his shot, but it ricochets kindly for Harvey Nibbs. All on his own in the box. He spins and hits a snapshot first time, and it hits the bar as it makes its way over. A big let off for Wrexham. That is a hell of a chance, though, to be fair to Nibbs. Yeah, he's having to turn onto it and hit it first time. Doesn't have time. If he had time to take a touch, then probably is a goal. But Wrexham finished the half strongly. Moore winning the ball well. Broadhead driving forwards. Probably should have played a return pass. Instead he carries it to the edge of the D, but pulls his shot wide of the right hand post. And then the last opportunity of the half is a nice patient build up. Cleworth and Dobson involved. Kabore sweeping in across. Longman first trying to set the ball back with a header beyond the far post. And when it ricochets back to him, he has a shot from a tight angle and can't keep it down. It goes flashing over the bar. So, first half, Wrexham the better side, but fairly even. And you think, okay, are we able to raise ourselves a bit more? Charlton, who had the nightmare they had when they lost 3-0 and we clinched promotion at their expense last season, in their minds, were looking much more themselves. Rock solid defensively, difficult to break down, and very compact. Second half, though, Wrexham really raised the tempo and dominated pretty much exclusively. It was very impressive from Wrexham in the second half, even though it took an Alls penalty to separate the teams. We start off with Thomason sweeping in a corner. Moore getting up beyond the far post, stoops and heads it back across the face of goal. Unbelievably, nobody can get a touch, and it goes all the way back across. It's put back in. There's a scramble which ends when the ball drops for Cleworth on the edge of the 6-yard box, and he turns and drills a shot. Gillespie does really well to lunge in the way and deflect it behind for another corner. We made a triple change halfway through the half, because although we were right on top and the pressure is incessant, we're not working Kaminski enough. In fact, the most important thing Kaminski does is not long after that shot by Cleworth is deflected behind, he goes down off the ball, which inevitably sets the whole crowd off shouting abuse at Nathan Jones rather than the goalkeeper. It's so blatantly a time waster. It's just, we are battering away at them for about 5 minutes, and Kaminski or Jones or whoever realises Charlton will benefit from a break in the game to come across, get instruction, and just interrupt Wrexham's flow. It's exactly what they did. Kaminski, of course, carries on. But we did pick up pretty soon afterwards where we left off. However, the need for a cutting edge and the fact that Parkinson had rotated the team a little bit meant that he had a very strong bench to fall back on. So after 68 minutes, he brings off Broadhead, replaces him with Windass. Lewis O'Brien comes on for George Thomason, and James McLean, back after injury, comes on for Longman. And immediately Wrexham are looking to push in. Oh, there is one chance just before that, I beg your pardon, when Dobson did well again to send Longman away, and Longman cutting inside, drills a powerful right-footed shot, can't keep it down. So we are getting into the last quarter of an hour. Wrexham just taking a few minutes just to bed in the new players, lose a little bit of momentum, and then it picks up dramatically. Wrexham breaking forwards. There's a 2-on-1 cross. Moore trying to find Windass, who's all on his own in the middle, and the cross is blocked. And then a minute later, the crucial moment. McLean on the left, ripping in the ball to the far post. He's overhit it. Now Charlton have brought on Oral Hernandez, who's a Cuban international fullback, to try and deal with Kabore, because like I said, he's been constantly threatening. He actually does well defensively against Kabore, but on this instance absolutely doesn't. There's no one near him, but he jumps with his hand up and the ball hits his hand rather than his head. Most of us didn't see it, didn't have a clue what was going on. In the middle you can see Moore, Dobson and Windass are going nuts. Kabore gets the ball and tries a shot which goes over, mainly because Hernandez has now responded and lunged to try and get a block in. But the referee, as Kabore hits it, blows his whistle and points to the spot. Wrexham given a penalty. Charlton furious. So when you look at it, it's an odd one. It's a very odd one. But it's odd because it's daft and avoidable. It's a definite penalty. The ball's come in from a long way. Hernandez got no one near him, and there's no one challenging him. It was just going to go out of play. But he jumps with his arm up. It's a penalty. It's got to be a penalty. And Windass steps up. Kaminsky goes the right way and gets a good stretch. But Windass hits a great penalty into the bottom right corner. And Wrexham are ahead. And we then go into, I'd say, game management mode. Although we still generally are more threatening than Charlton. We hold them at arm's length. That mid-block again doing a good job. Matthew James comes on for Ben Sheaf. He's managed to get 80 minutes in and look very impressive. And it's actually Wrexham on the break who are looking more dangerous. There's a double save from Kaminsky, firstly from Windass, who drills a 25-yarder that Kaminsky parries back out into goal mouth. Moore has a real chance from about 10 yards out. It's just sitting slightly behind him, though. And as he tries to get leverage on the shot, it makes him drive it too straight. And Kaminsky completes a good double save. Charlton really start to make the effort to get the ball up front, sending Lloyd Jones up as a centre forward rather than his normal position, centre back, and really trying to put pressure on Wrexham. But we deal with things well. Okonkwo's commanding in the air. The back three are terrific again, and it's again Wrexham looking more threatening. Kiefer Moore stops with what looked like a problem with his hamstring. Hopefully just cramp. He has to go off in the 96th minute. Sam Smith comes on, and moments later he's got an opportunity. Windass with a great ball through the middle. Smith's one-on-one with the keeper. Also it seems, but actually the ball's just going a bit to his left. He's forced away from the centre, and that allows Ramsey to make a superb recovery run to get in and make a challenge. And then in the 9th minute, I'm aware the ref got 9 minutes of added time from answers on the postcard, but he did. And in the 9th minute comes a moment of high drama. Carey on the right, ripping the ball in. Fabulous diving header by the substitute Luke Berry. And it's speeding in under the bar. Okonkwo makes an absolute worldie of a save, lunging across and getting a terrific top hand with just enough contact to flip it over the bar. Wrexham deal with the corner and get the 3 points. An excellent victory for Wrexham. Keeps us moving up the table as well. 4 points off the playoffs now, just mentioning. And yeah, another good day at the office. So with a final score of Wrexham 1, Charlton Athletic 0, I'm Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC.